You can't just walk away from this. We need answers now.
The letter wasn't slipped politely into my mailbox. It was nailed to my front door in broad daylight, like some public shaming ritual. Violation notice, lawn non-compliance. I stared at it, confused. My lawn was trimmed that very morning. The grass was green even, perfect. Yet in bold red ink, the fine was marked $500. Within minutes, neighbors were peeking from their porches, whispering. A mother walking her dog slowed down, read the notice, and smirked. I could feel the judgment crawling over me like ants. This wasn't about grass. It wasn't about rules. This was about her. Mrs. Elaine Carter, the president of our homeowners association. A woman who ran the neighborhood like it was her personal kingdom. She controlled fines, permits, and even who got invited to the annual block party. And now, somehow, she had turned her sights on me. That piece of paper wasn't just a fine. It was a warning shot. The next morning, another notice appeared. This time, improper trash placement. Fine, $250. My bins were lined up perfectly, same as everyone else's, but only my house had the violation. When I confronted Elaine at the HOA office, she didn't even look up from her clipboard. Rules are rules, she said flatly, her lips curling into the faintest smile. If you can't follow them, maybe this isn't the right neighborhood for you. I looked around the room. 3 board members sat in silence, eyes lowered as if she had them on invisible leashes. No one dared speak up. That's when it hit me. Elaine wasn't enforcing rules. She was weaponizing them. Later that week, I found out my neighbor, Mark, had challenged her once over a parking dispute. Within a month, he was buried under thousands in fines, his property value plummeted, and he eventually sold his house at a loss. The same fate was now circling me. Elaine had picked her next target, and she wouldn't stop until I was gone. I refused to roll over like Mark. First, I started documenting everything. Every notice, every fine, every conversation. I even installed cameras facing the street in case Elaine or her loyalists tried anything sneaky. Then at the next HOA meeting, I walked in with a thick binder under my arm. When it was my turn to speak, I flipped it open and let the pages slam against the table. Here's every false violation I've received in the last 3 weeks, I said, my voice steady but loud enough for the packed room to hear. And here's proof, video proof, that my trash bins and lawn meet every regulation. The room shifted. Whispers started. A few neighbors leaned forward, eyes widening. Elaine's smile froze. "You're wasting everyone's time," she hissed. But I didn't back down. "No," I shot back. "I'm exposing what you've been doing to this neighborhood. Selective enforcement, intimidation, driving families out." For the first time, the board members didn't look at her, they looked at me. The leash was slipping. And Elaine knew it. Elaine didn't waste time licking her wounds. 2 days after that meeting, I woke up to find a bright orange citation nailed to my door. Unapproved exterior modifications, immediate fine, $1,000. I stared at it in disbelief. Exterior modifications? I hadn't touched a single thing. But Elaine wasn't acting alone anymore. Suddenly, 3 board members who had been silent at the meeting started backing her. They claimed my fence was too tall. They said my porch light was the wrong wattage. They even accused me of running a business from my home because I had too many Amazon packages. It was ridiculous, but it was working. Neighbors began avoiding me. Some whispered that I was bringing trouble to the community. Others, scared of Elaine's reach, wouldn't even make eye contact. And then came the letter, an official notice of lien on my property. If I didn't pay the escalating fines, they could move toward foreclosure. That's when I realized Elaine wasn't just trying to humiliate me, she was trying to erase me. I sat at my kitchen table, staring at the lien notice like it was a death sentence. If Elaine won, I wouldn't just lose the fight, I could lose my house. That night, I heard her laughter drifting across the cul-de-sac. She was throwing another of her wine nights. The board clustered around her patio like obedient soldiers. From my window, I watched them clink glasses, confident I was finished. and something inside me snapped. I wasn't just the quiet neighbor anymore. Elaine had crossed a line and she thought I'd roll over. Instead, I began digging. I combed through the HOA bylaws line by line. I pulled county records. And then, buried in a PDF from 5 years ago, I found it. Elaine's husband had been using HOA funds to pay a landscaping company he secretly co-owned. It was fraud, clear as day. The next morning, I didn't tape it to my fridge. I didn't call a lawyer. I made 50 copies. And by sunset, every mailbox in the neighborhood had one. By the next morning, the cul-de-sac was a war zone. Neighbors who once clapped at Elaine's wine nights were now standing in her driveway, waving my flyers like torches. Voices rose, accusations flew. Someone even shouted, "You stole our dues!" Elaine tried to keep control, standing on her porch, red-faced, shrieking about fake documents and smear campaigns. But it was useless. The truth was out, and the crowd smelled blood. Phones were out recording, uploading everything to the community Facebook page. Within hours, the comments section exploded. Calls for her resignation drowned out every excuse she sputtered. The HOA board, her loyal inner circle, suddenly went silent. One by one, they stepped back. No one wanted to sink with her ship. By nightfall, her kingdom was gone. The gates she built around herself had turned into prison bars. And when the county auditor confirmed the payments, the whispers started. Fraud charges, audits, lawsuits. Elaine, once untouchable, was now the neighborhood pariah. And the best part? I didn't even have to raise my voice. A week later, a for sale sign appeared in Elaine's pristine lawn. Her empire had crumbled faster than anyone thought possible. Neighbors whispered when she walked to her car, eyes averted, no more fake smiles or wine invites. The same people who once bowed to her power now crossed the street to avoid her. The HOA held an emergency election, and for the first time in years, people actually showed up to vote. The fear was gone. Her spell was broken. And as for me, I didn't run for president. I didn't need to. Watching Elaine pack her perfect life into cardboard boxes was victory enough. But here's the kicker. Every time a new HOA notice comes in the mail, I smile. Because I know one thing for certain. Even the queen of the cul-de-sac isn't safe when the neighbors turn.